Our next guest says Krugman's missing some points there. We welcome Michael Feroli, an economist at JPMorgan and a Bloomberg best. Good morning to you, Michael. I want to say, looking at what we're watching in the equity markets and then in the bond markets, there certainly seems to be a fair amount of panic out there. Who do I believe? Do I believe the consumer that the economy's on a downturn, or do I believe so many of your peers who tell me that we're at recovery?
Well, look, I think the economy is still growing in the second quarter, but clearly some of the indicators here have been losing some momentum, like we saw this morning with the consumer confidence measure. So I think there are some downside risks to the economy, but second Great Depression, I think, might be going a little far.
So, well then, tell me what the bond market's telling us, which is that the recovery is in danger right now. I mean, you're looking at yields under real pressure, a lot of flight to safety. Where does that describe us to be?
Right, and I think the bond market is, there is a lot of fear out there that the economy is losing momentum, both here and globally. And we're also seeing inflation measures come down, and I think a lot of the risk of upside inflation that we were feeling last year has gone.
Yeah, yield on the 10-year at like 3%. Do we need to talk about deflation at this point?
Well, deflation is a risk. We're not there yet, but if the economy does falter here, I think that's only going to put more downward pressure on prices.
You know, one of the, I guess, casualties in financial reform was the extension of some unemployment benefits to about 1.3 million Americans. We're looking at that expiration just right around the corner. Given that, given the jobs number you're anticipating this week, what level of fear should there be?
Well, I think it does come down to the jobs number later this week. I think if private payrolls grow and grow, above 100,000, I think that will help to dissipate some of those fears. But, again, if that number disappoints, then then we are going to really start to worry about the momentum heading into the second half. So I think that's going to be what really decides, the color and the flavor of this week.
What do personal income and spending figures tell you right now? I mean, it looks like people are saving. So whether or not they feel confidence, let's look at what they're doing. Yeah.
Saving rate did move up in May. It's been kind of trending around 4% for much of the past year. So you are seeing spending growth when consumers get income. I think the big question going forward is, do those income gains continue? Which again comes back to what we're going to see on Friday, which is, does the labor market continue to give us, growth in labor income?
All right, Michael, thanks for joining us.